Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Cynthia and today's video is going to be a journaling with me video. So here you see me just selecting the pages that I'll be working on. I do grab some ephemera that I really want to use, and I use that ephemera a little bit to guide me decide on which page I want to be using. Sometimes, unless I know exactly which page I want to be working with, I find that choosing some key items, key ephemera pieces that I want to use really helps me kind of select the pages that I want to use, whether it be because of the size of the pages, or perhaps it's also like the colorings or the busyness or very simple elements to the pages that help me make those sorts of decisions. So if I plan on using some elements that are very bright, I'm going to make sure to use some pages that are a little bit more toned down to kind of balance everything out. So here you see me, I'm taking apart this little like sample, I'm not sure how to call it. It's so sweet. I absolutely love this idea. It came with the journal, and essentially it's just sewn together, and just by snipping that little piece of thread, I'm able to take it apart and use all those beautiful pieces of ephemera. And there was one piece in there that I really wanted to use, and I didn't end up using it, but that's okay. You know, sometimes you have a certain idea, and then you know what, I ended up using that piece at a later time. I am planning on recording quite a few reels for this journal as well, so if you're not following me on Instagram and you do have an account, I encourage you to go and check that out. My information is listed down below. I do post like quite a few of my process videos, I guess, on there as well, so of course they're much shorter, but if you're looking for more content, that can be found there. And so this here was really my main image that I wanted to make sure that I was going to be using, and that's why I decided to go against using another piece of ephemera that I had selected. Essentially, at the time that I'm recording this, when I was filming this process, we were still just piecing all the little bits and pieces together for our move and just getting ready. And it's so easy to feel overwhelmed and to just kind of feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm forgetting things. And so I just wanted to kind of mirror those emotions and feelings onto the pages that I am currently trying to create. So you're gonna see me here. I'm just still kind of debating which page could work well. My thought with this particular image was that what looks like a king, I am assuming, or a prince, is showing this lady this like immense amount of hay. I think that hay, right? Like a needle and a stack of hay. So that's what it made me think of. How can you find like every little bit of things that you're supposed to be doing when there are so many things? And because he's using his hand, and this is so funny, I'm just like, I'm using my hands right now to talk and you guys cannot see that. Oh my goodness. But as he's kind of showing to his right, I wanted to make sure that the picture was liberating where I was going to be journaling to the right of it. So I hope that makes sense. I'm just tearing the top of it there because it's unnecessary, and I find that it creates a little bit more of softness whenever I guess soften those edges a little bit. And I believe I use my glue stick to adhere that down. So here you see me debating. I was hoping to find something to kind of layer that image. That's something that I do often. I like to layer the main image that I'm using with either some script or just like a contrasting paper, just to frame it a little bit more and to add some depth to the page. And here I settle on this piece of paper that I had from, I want to say it's probably a book, but I got that in a Happy Mail. So I'm just going to layer that. I'm playing around a little bit, seeing how I want it to be placed behind or in front of that picture. I settle on half behind, half in front. Just the way that I ripped the paper, it kind of worked out, and it was kind of almost like going with the shape of the men in the picture. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I'm just going to use my glue stick to stick those onto the page, and then I'll be ready to move on to the next step. So now I'm playing around with the page on the right. I wasn't sure. I knew I wanted to add something and I couldn't figure it out. So often whenever I'm faced with that kind of situation that I know I want something, I don't know what yet, I tend to move away from that particular thing, focus on something else that I know for sure what I want to do, and then come back to it. So I knew that I was going to want to write a quote on top of the images there. That's what seemed like would fit the best there. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm gonna move back to the area where I wasn't too sure in the beginning what I was gonna be doing there. So I'm just grabbing some more elements now, trying to see, can I make it work? But ultimately, I just felt like those specific elements didn't really make sense with what I was journaling about and with the other images that I had pre-selected. So this piece of wallpaper here was the piece that I really wanted to use, and I didn't end up using that one, but I just ended up selecting a different piece and going with that one because that one seemed to me like the coloring just matched perfectly the other elements that I had already glued down onto my pages. So I'm playing around with where I would like it to be, and then I'm just gonna rip it to the size that I want and use my glue stick again to stick it down on the page. Now that the wallpaper is on the page, my next step is going to be to do some of the journaling that I want to do, as well as adding the date. These are very simple pages, and I love doing simple pages because it doesn't feel like it's not overwhelming for me, and it's just like a very simple, it really frees my mind. So maybe that's something that you want to try for yourself. Perhaps that's already something that you do, but I just really embrace the beauty in simplicity, and sometimes, just a few elements really speak to the emotions and feelings that I want to convey onto my pages. And that's everything for this video, you guys. I'm so thankful that you were here with me today. Thank you so much for your support. And I will talk to you all in my next one. Thank you. Bye now.